Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. And today I'm going to speak about why you will probably be broke in January. You will be without any money in your bank account. You will be desperately looking for money to pay your bus fare or fuel. You will be struggling to pay school fees for your children. And you will probably make your landlord a little bit angry. Why are people most likely going to be broke in January? It comes day in, day out, year in, year out. People are always complaining they are broke in January. The first reason why people are always complaining that they are broke is because December comes with a lot of happy feeling, a lot of happy go lucky feeling. People are feeling excited about December. In fact, memes around the internet always say that as happy as a child in December, as happy or as happy as you are in December. And these happy feelings generate a lot of careless financial thinking. When people are happy, they're more likely going to spend and overspend on money. They're most likely going to be more generous. They're most likely going to overestimate the money that they have in their pockets. I always make the point that you should not make any financial decision to spend or invest when you are overwhelmingly happy or when you are overwhelmingly sad. This is because emotions cloud the kind of decisions that you make, financial decisions that you make. And during this time in December, before January, people are unusually happy, people are unusually joyful, and this increased heightened excitement creates an opportunity for you to make bad financial decisions. The other thing is in December, people are more likely going to buy cars. So in a whole year, you realize that in December is when most people actually buy cars. Most people buy cars in December in the anticipation of traveling. Most people purchase or hire out vehicles because of the anticipation of December and travel and holiday and such like things. They all of a sudden realize that the car they have been using in the cities and in the towns throughout the year can no longer go up country where they will now need a four-wheel drive. So people buy cars, and buying cars comes with an additional financial shock. All of a sudden, you are a first-time owner, you are not used to having a lot of money go towards fuel. You are not having to put some money towards maintenance. Now you have an additional cost in your pocket. You have an additional stomach in the form of fuel and maintenance of this new vehicle. If you're an all-time car owner, you probably upgraded to a bigger version of a car, or you probably got a four-wheel drive. This comes with additional costs that you never anticipated. And these additional costs actually may shock you, especially with the additional travels in December, into having to have less money in your pocket in January. So the other thing is new expectations. Now, when you are in January and you party and you are generous to people, you create a lot of new expectations in the minds and the hearts of the people who are around you. This is because you are unusually happy, you are unusually jolly, you are unusually generous. And now you have heightened the expectation that society and people have on you. So all of a sudden, people think that you are now going to rescue them from their bad financial situations. You're going to now educate their new children. You're going to do this and that for them. New expectations will make you lose more money in your pocket in January. The other thing is that new price adjustments. Every time a new year comes, businesses sit down and think. They look at the prevailing inflation rates. They look at the expected profit margins in the new year. In fact, even employees desire a salary. So everything is adjusted to go upward. So in December, the price might be lower than in January because of the additional adjustments that are done. Even school fees. If you're used to paying a certain amount, by going to a new year, you add the amount of school fees that you pay. Costs are going to go up and are going to be adjusted up in January. That is why 3 years later, you'll hear a second-time parent complaining that I used to pay this amount of school fees in this school, but now 3 years later, when I'm taking my second-born child in this school, the costs have escalated. A new year, new price adjustments, new expectation. Even employees desire salary rise. So costs are going to escalate over time, and they're usually adjusted in January. So you will have more expenses in January. So if you are able to buy something at this price, probably the adjustment will go up by 5% or whatever percent, and this is money that is coming from your pocket. So adjustments are going to be there. And that is why I always advise people that they also adjust their savings rate. So if you are investing and saving 10%, now adjust, because you will now have to pay a lot more for the future expenses that you want to save up for, and the passive income you want to generate to meet for expenses in the future. So you also adjust your investments. So it is going to be because of that structural change in the prices that we are talking about. The other thing is, you need to note that January is longer, and December, the adjusted month, is longer. No other months that are together are 31 and 31. So 31 days plus 31 days, and a lot of these expenditures that we are talking about and these additional adjustments make you a lot more broker, because you have a lot more months that you are normally expected to have your salary run across. So that is going to put an additional strain in your budget. The other thing is, people are paid unusually early in December. So you are paid a lot earlier. The problem is, when you're paid a lot earlier, and majority of people that we know, if it is not us ourselves, are going to have money in their pocket. And because of the happy-go-lucky feelings, they start spending earlier. That is why I always advise people who get a salary. If you're the kind of person who becomes restless when your salary hits the account, then you're the kind of person who needs to take a few days before you can start spending. So take a few days, because it allows you to be able to be settled, to be able to meet your expenses. Again, a lot of people, when they get this money, they do not think about meeting their expense, because remember, when you're paid your December salary, it is expected to pay for your January expenses. But when you receive your December salary on the 15th, when you will receive it at the end of the month and spend it for expenses in December, January is going to become problematic. So you need to also adjust your spending. So if you're going to receive your salary in December early, you also take that amount of money and pay for expenses in January in advance, in the anticipation that this is salary that should have been spent for that period of time. The other thing that people do is over entertainment. People drink a lot more. People go to entertainment joints a lot more. People go on dates a lot more. People are going to travel for holiday a lot more. This over entertainment comes with an additional cost. And the problem sometimes is, because if everyone is doing all these things together, the cost goes up, because you should be able to know the economic forces of demand and supply. When the demand goes up, the prices go up, because supply may not be able to be adjusted across the board. So when you want to travel, I always advise people to make their travel plans in January. If you are able to avoid going in December, I've gone for several holidays in January myself. This is because December is always a high travel period, but January hotels are broke because people are not traveling. You'll be able to get a lot more discounts. You'll be able to get a lot more better airfares for your tickets. You'll be able to travel a lot more cheaply. You'll be able to expend a lot less when you travel when no one is there. How exciting is it to go to a beach and find nobody? An empty beach, simply because everyone did their holiday in December, and in January no one is there. You pay less and you spend a lot more and enjoy the climate, the weather, and the beach all by yourself. So a little adjustment sometimes does help, but a lot of people are not able to avoid the over entertainment. They are not able to curtail the desire to entertain and enjoy themselves with others. But if you're able to do that, you also be able to cut down on cost and the brokenness in January. The other thing is, some people are paid their bonuses in December. So you paid, not only paid your salary early, but you're paid with a little bit of bonus for the year. The unfortunate thing, most people get this additional money and become overexcited. They think that if this money will never come to an end. And the problem with this is, because when this money comes to an end, it comes with a big thud. The higher you go in terms of your money and the excitement and all these things, the lower you're going to fall. This is because January is still waiting for you, but you are excited by having this additional money come into your pocket. I hope that you are learning from these things, so that it is not a continuous circle. That January, everyone is broke, everyone is struggling, and everyone is crying. January should be your happiest month, when you are able to stretch your money and be able to do a lot of things. There are several opportunities that come with January that people don't think about. January is the time when you're most likely going to buy shares at a cheaper cost. This is because a lot of people, because they are broke in January, will sell their shares in January. The prices will go down because now supply. Remember the laws of demand and supply. Supply of shares in the market has increased, but the people who are buying are less because most people are broke. And this is the time that you keep your money and start buying. You buy in January because most people are selling in January. So many opportunities also come. Like I also mentioned earlier, travel. Travel in January because people have stopped traveling and hotels are going to give you even better discounts. You're going to get even better value for your travel. The costs are going to go down simply because demand is a lot lower. So take your money for travel and travel in January where possible because you're going to incur less cost. So when people are afraid of spending in January, that is the time that you spend. Another mantra that anyone who follows this channel should be able to follow is when people are fearful, be greedy. When people are greedy, be fearful. So when people are entertaining themselves and enjoying themselves in December, be very conservative, be very limited. But when in January, everyone is looking and fearing for the few shillings left in their pocket, be a little bit greedy and now buy and now go on holiday and do all these things. Buy cars in January because that is the time people are trying to sell off their assets to meet their recurrent expenses. And remember, January is where expenses are also going up. That is when most people are paying for lump sum payments in the insurance. That is when people are paying for school fees. That is when people are paying for these additional leases, long-term leases for rents. If you pay your rents for a longer period of time in lump sums, this is the time that you pay. A lot of money is also being paid at that time, and that is the time where financial distress comes. That is the time you hear there's a lot more auctions in the market. That is the time that you hear there's a lot more houses that are being sold by banks from repossessed people who could not be able to sustain the financial pressure in January. So January is the time to buy, it's the time to holiday, the time to enjoy, not the time to be broke because these opportunities that come will find an empty pocket that cannot be able to take advantage of them. I hope you're learning, you're growing, and becoming better. Remember to leave a comment, subscribe to the channel because that is the only way you can be able to get fresh content that is going to edify you and grow your financials. Thank you and enjoy your day.